Hey everybody, Milton Davis here, and I usually come to you guys in the morning, so that way you don't get this funky light that's coming through my blinds in my study, and it's summertime and it gets dark late, so that's what we got to deal with. But anyway, I wanted to come to y'all today and talk about our MV Media Weekend Special, which is the Terminus combination. So let me tell you about Terminus. A few years ago, some of our local members of the State of Black Science Fiction, we decided we were going to start getting together and meeting on a regular basis, to talk about, what we're working on, what stories we're working on, what novels we're working on, stuff like that, share information and things like that. So I thought it would be a really cool idea if we would get together and do anthologies. It'd be something for us to do together, something to keep us all motivated and stuff like that, and keep us from just being a group that just kind of like got together and just talked and had a good time. But we have a good time doing this too. So we came up with the idea of the Terminus Anthology. And some of y'all are like, okay, where does the name Terminus come from? But so if you live in Atlanta and you've been here long enough, you know that the original name of the city that eventually became Atlanta was Terminus. And the reason it was called that because it was a place where the railroads ended. So Atlanta's always been associated with transportation. Today we're known for our airport, but for back then we were known for our transportation hub being trains and that type of thing. So a lot of people, like myself included, we like to use the name Terminus when we're talking about the city, kind of like, for people who are in the know, they know what they're talking about. So we decided to do the Terminus Anthologies, and this was the criteria that, all of the stories had to take place in Atlanta. All of the main characters had to be of African/African diaspora descent. Now, the first one we did, Terminus, we had a specific theme. All the stories in this book had to be urban fantasy stories. So, had a number of authors get together. I'll read you the names of them. Balogun Ojitade, Aziza Sphinx, Violet Meir, Alan Jones, yours truly, Courtney Watkins, Kyoko M., Marcus Haynes, Gerald L. Coleman. These are the first people to do this first anthology, and it's a great anthology. The thing about this one, I'm lenient on this one. To be honest, the way we do them, I don't even, read the stories and decide what's going to be in there, what's not going to be in there. And the reason I do it because every person in our group is an excellent writer. And I know that when they bring their stories, they're going to be bringing their A game. So I don't even concern myself about that. So the second time we did an anthology, when we did Terminus 2, I did something a little different because I was trying to think of a theme that we were going to do in this one. Was it going to be horror? Was it going to be science fiction? And when we started talking about it, there was some of the authors were like, well, I don't think I'm going to be in this one because I can't really write in that genre. I'm not really a horror writer. I'm not really a science fiction writer. And I didn't want it to be a situation that people might have felt like they were being excluded or left out. So I said, well, you know what we're going to do? Write in any speculative fiction genre that you're comfortable with. If you're a horror writer, write a horror story. If you're paranormal, write a paranormal story. If you're a time travel, write a time travel story. The only criteria, like we had before, is that all the stories have to take place in Metro Atlanta, and all the main characters have to be of African diaspora descent. So that's when Terminus 2 came out. And what happens a lot is that what's been happening is that some of the same authors will submit stories. So you got some continuations here, like in this one. I'll read you the author list here. We've got Jessica Cage, Gerald Coleman, John Darr, L.M. Davis, yours truly, Ashley Davenport, Ed Hall, Robert Jeffrey II, Alan Jones, Kyoko M., Violet Meir, Balogun Ojitade, Glenn Paris, Aziza Sphinx, and Courtney Watkins. So some of the authors have come back again with other stories. Some of the authors like Gerald and Kyoko M., their stories are like continuations of the first stories that they wrote. So, so we got these two books, the two anthologies, great stories. And you want to go ahead and get these now because we are actually on our way to working on Terminus 3. And we're going to have some of our famous favorite authors come back again, but we also have some new authors. Again, we're going to be open with the theme and with the genres, but this time we're ready for the book. The book, we've got the cover, we've got the authors, and actually on July 1st, I will be announcing the table of contents for Terminus 3. If you've been following me, you've probably already seen the cover art. That's another thing that we do. All the cover artists have to be Metro Atlanta artists. In the first one, we had James Eugene. In the second one, we had Jane Mason, aka Mace. In the third one, we've got Marcellus Shane Jackson. You've seen his artwork because he did the cover of Steam Funk. He did the cover of From Here to Timbuktu. And he also did the cover of La Rosa de Matanzas. He's a great artist, and he's also going to have a story in the third one. So we've got these multi-talented people that are working with us as well. So yeah, this weekend, go to the website. It's on the homepage. You can get both of the books at a very good price for this weekend only. Sale will run through Monday. So check out Terminus and see what Atlanta's all about. Y'all take care. Peace.